is June 23rd. It is a day that is seared in our national memory by a profoundly solemn and horrifying day in our past. 38 years ago, on June 23rd, Air India Flight 182 was brutally torn apart by a bomb explosion over the coast of Northern Ireland. All 329 passengers on board, including 82 children, 6 babies, and 29 entire families, lost their lives in this heinous act. This devastating event remains the most atrocious act of terrorism in the history of Canada. The families of the victims remember this tragic day every year. Most Indo-Canadians, and I look around to my Desi colleagues, they're shaking their heads, nodding their heads. Most Indo-Canadians remember exactly what we were doing at that moment when we received the news. We recall the phone calls we made to sons and daughters, mothers and sisters, fathers and brothers, wives and husbands, as we wrapped our arms around them. Just last night, I was with a friend whose uncle was the pilot on that ill-fated flight. Subsequently, inquiries and criminal investigations were launched. Miscommunication and competition between Canada's security services was disclosed, and justice was not done. The Canadian Indian community of victims organized and agreed to memorialize June 23rd as the National Day of Remembrance for victims of terrorism. And I commend them for being inclusive of other victims of terrorism. But this inclusion has come at a cost to them. Angus Reid released a poll today that said 9 out of 10 Canadians knew little or nothing about the largest successful terrorist attack against Canadians, and they are likely to be forgotten. In 2018, I wrote to Canada Post requesting them to memorialize the Air India victims, in particular through a stamp. I received a note back from the Director of Stamp Services saying they would bring this to the attention of the Stamp Advisory Committee. Radio silence since then. I have undertaken to rise as many times as I can to mark this day. In this chamber, at least, colleagues, let's remember, let's honor, and let's keep their memory alive.